Hey, it's Joe. Today I'm going to show you how to get your first mailing done through your Automarketer. We're going to go into the Automarketer, going to go to step one, which is category and location setup, and I'm going to scroll down the page a little bit. And what we have here is a scraper, it's called. It'll actually go on to Craigslist and to Backpage, and it'll pull off ads, emails, and phone numbers of the folks that are in there. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to pick U.S. I'm going to pick Indiana because that's where I'm working. And if you'll notice, I've got Indianapolis already selected, but if I didn't, I'd select that. And if I wanted to see all the ones that I've got selected, I can do this because I can do it in multiple states, multiple areas, multiple countries. You can do it any place Craigslist is at. We're going to do the same thing with the category. I'm going to get housing category, and I'm picking real estate for sale by owner. And if I want to see all the ones I've got picked, that's the way I do it. I do the same thing with Backpage. You're going to get a lot fewer leads in Backpage than you will with Craigslist. So let's just get started with Craigslist and get the ball rolling. Once I pick those two, I go down and I click this step two to take me to step two, and I scroll down the page. And you'll see that there's a bunch of listings in there already that I can pull off of. Now, if this is the first time you've done it, and it's the first time that anybody has been in that city, then it'll take a little while to scrape that information. Right now, it's about 11:30 Eastern Time. This is showing that at 12 o'clock is the next scrape. Every hour and a half or so, it does a scrape. So it'll go in and automatically do it, and it'll keep those listings up to date. So every few hours, or every 2 hours or so, it's going to go in and it's going to pull off all the new leads. So whenever you do your search, your filter of leads that are going to go out, it's going to pull the most recent ones up as long as you put in those particular dates. There's a lot of ways you can use these filters. I'm not going to get into that right now, but if I search here, it's going to pull up a bunch of them, and I'm just going to pull up to 500 right now and see what kind of deals that I've got. Okay, so there's 500 here, and if I want to queue these up to go into my to be sent out, all I have to do is select all. It'll put a check mark on this, and then I click on the queue button, and it'll change this little red minus sign to a green plus. And once it turns into a green plus, it would add those to the queue. I'm not going to do it right now because I've already got some working. And then I go to step 3 after you queue them up, and it'll show the ones that are in the queue. Right now we've still got 108 in the queue that we're sending out. It sends these out very slowly, one every 5 minutes. We don't want it to send it out fast, because if we do, if you notice, most of these to Craigslist are going to a Craigslist email address. That's an anonymized email address, and if you send out a blast to Craigslist like that, they will block the incoming email. So instead of do it that way, we spread them out. So it goes out one every 5 minutes or so, and it takes a while for that to happen. So it'll go out all day long and all night long, and it'll send out a message to them saying, hey, would you consider selling your home rent to buy rather than just renting it? And it'll send out this message with our phone number in it. And those people will get those things, and that's all we have to do. And all we have to do now is wait for the responses to come in. And as you can see here, we've got lead responses already that are coming in, 132 of them. Some are saying yes, I'm interested. Some are saying no, they're not interested. Some are saying, give me a call. Here's a phone number. And some of them aren't going to be categorized. If you look at if they have this particular button, they're not going to be categorized because they're all classified by these filters, these keyword filters, and the keyword filters are only as smart as we are, and sometimes they don't filter it. So 60-70% of these will be filtered. Some of them will be filtered inaccurately just because of the way people type in their responses. But so you can go in here and you can make changes to it and simply change. If it's a no and it should have been a yes, you can click and you can change the one to the other, and it'll change it in the autoresponder, because as soon as it goes into the system, it also goes into the autoresponder, which I'm going to show you in a different video how those work, how the autoresponder works. And that autoresponder sends out a series of emails to those people, driving them to the websites that we've got in the clone sites. So we've got the Automarketer working with the clone sites and the autoresponder all working together in order to create this big system that does all this work for you. Ultimately, all you had to do was go in and pick your categories and locations. You had to filter your list. You had to queue up the ones you wanted to send out. That takes about 3 minutes, and then you go to campaign settings and you click on the start mailer, and this will say start mailer if it's not running, and as soon as it's running, it'll say stop, and I can stop this, and you can start it again after that. So you can turn this on and off. It's like a faucet for leads. You turn it on, it'll start gushing out leads at you. Turn it off if you get too busy, or you want to go on vacation, or you want to take some time off, you can turn it off. So it's a very cool system. And you can do the same thing manually, by the way. You can go into Craigslist. You can pick each ad. Let me show you real quick. Here's what Craigslist looks like. And what this scraper is doing is going into the housing for sale by owner, and it's pulling out these ads. So it's pulling out, whether it's a broker, and this one's a broker, by the way. We want to pull out the by owners. It's a little harder to get to when you're doing it manually, but our scraper can identify owner or not. So it'll go into these ads and it'll pull them up. Now, when you go back to your, let me get back to the scraper and the lead response. I'll even be able to link to the ad that they pulled to, so we can see it in the system. And so when we get a reply, we'll know who sent it. It's pretty cool. Anyway, that's it for now. I hope it makes sense. I know it sounds complicated. It's really not once you get it up and running. So don't get discouraged by the fact that you have to be a little bit of a techie to get it started. If you can do email, if you can send out email, you can do this system. It just takes a few minutes to learn. And hopefully this series of videos that I'm going to give you is going to teach you how to do it and get up and running pretty quickly.